the only way I think they'll lose this game is if they just go to bed on it. If it's just one of these things where they're just completely out to lunch for 4 quarters because all they can think about is playing Buffalo the following week. But they can't afford to do that.
It's that football show here on KC Sports Number Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame for your Friday edition of that football show. Thank you to our sponsors, Ben Holiday, Bottled in Bond Bourbon and Holiday Distillery, all the fine folks up there in Weston, Missouri. Make sure to go check them out and make sure to have it on hand for hopefully another big Chiefs victory as we are gearing up for a Monday night game. Commanders, Chiefs on Monday, only standalone Monday night game. Got to differentiate that now. Standalone Monday night game. Lots of games on Sunday, a loaded Sunday Week 8 slate. Matt, how are things going?
Things are good. No complaints. Getting ready for the old weekend. College football Saturday. Go to the apple orchard with the wife and kids. Get some apple cider donuts.
Yeah, I'm doing pumpkin patch this weekend.
There you go. Yeah. It's the weekend to do it. Just live the dream. And then Sunday, got a full slate of football. No Chiefs, but that means I can just relax and be a human being, and not make my wife wonder why she's been with me for as long as she has. Then man, listen, Monday morning, we're talking about this off air. Drop off my daughter at 7:15, and then it is just Midwest bound and down. I mean, it is through the bowels of hell, aka Iowa, and then just south on 35. Right, south on 35, all the way down to Kansas City, and we'll get some barbecue, and I'll basically have enough like sodium in me to look like I'm pregnant, and it'd be good. Head over to the game and watch the Chiefs play Marcus Mariota, who apparently hasn't started a game there since that infamous playoff game.
Isn't that nuts? Isn't that crazy that Marcus Mariota hasn't started? Like, he started, I think, 3 games this year, right? Mariota has.
This will be number 3.
This will be number 3 for Mariota.
Yep.
I can't believe he's still actually an NFL quarterback, truthfully. Him and Carson Wentz still kicking it, unfortunately.
Do you know how old he is? I looked this up today, and I was like, wow, that actually kind of shocked me.
I think he's shockingly younger than we think. I think he came to the league pretty young. Isn't he? I don't know off the top of my head, though.
He's 31.
This is crazy. I was going to say 31, but I was like, that seems like that's way too young.
He turns 32 next week, but I was like,
it's still
how
crazy.
is this guy not like 35 years old at this point? I feel like he's been around the league forever.
Yeah, how many years of service does he have?
This is year 10.
So he would have gotten to the league
age-wise, but it just feels longer. At least in my opinion, it feels longer than that.
I agree.
This is the first time he's starting at Arrowhead Stadium since the 2017 wildcard game, which Pro Football Talk tweeted that out, and they were like, hey, last time Chiefs didn't go to the AFC Championship game, they faced Marcus Mariota, and I was like, that is true. The flip side of that is the last time the Chiefs didn't go to the AFC Championship game, Marcus Mariota was in year 2 with the Titans.
Yeah.
Like, that's impossible.
Crazy.
Like, Marcus Mariota has basically lived another lifetime since the Chiefs haven't gone to the AFC title game. They are 12.5-point favorites, most books.
Right.
Obviously, that number climbed after Jaden Daniels. It was reported that he's going to be out sweet with a hamstring injury. But yeah, Marcus Mariota, looks like Terry McLaurin and Debo. They practiced in full on Thursday, so it looks like they'll be there. But the Washington Commanders coming into Arrowhead 3-4 on Monday Night Football, and a game that I think most people around the country expect the Chiefs to pretty much baptize Washington in.
Yeah, this was a game when the schedule makers made it. This is an NFC Championship team, a team that was in the NFC Championship last year. I think a lot of higher expectations for Washington as a whole coming to the year they had them. Obviously, Jaden Daniels getting hurt with the knee, and now the hamstring on the other leg. It has definitely hindered them. They've had to deal with a lot of injuries this year, this Washington football team. I did not actually mean to say that. This Washington team has encountered, but that's because they have the oldest roster in the league, and that probably should have been a part of their calculus when constructing the oldest roster in the league.
Well, I mean, look, I went week 2 for Sports Illustrated. I covered Thursday Night Football, and they played Green Bay up in Lambeau.
That's right, yeah.
And there was a play in that game that I thought was really instructive. And as it turns out, it has been really instructive. So Tucker Kraft was running like a seam route. And Bobby Wagner was trying to carry the seam.
Oh, no.
And he ran with him for, with him. Like, he was running, like, trying to run with him for about 15 yards and then started frantically signaling for a safety. But that safety didn't exist.
Right.
And Jordan Love just, like, floated a ball as Kraft ran for literally, it was like a 60-some-odd yard gain. And I remember thinking, like, man, they're really slow. Like, as you watch the game, you're like, yeah, no, that wasn't just a one-off. Like, they're really slow. Like, they can't move.
Yeah.
And that's kind of played out all year long. Like, look, Wagner's even been, like, he's Bobby Wagner. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, he's been good. Frankie Luvu is a good player.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, Dorrance Armstrong's a good player, and he's got 5.5 sacks, man. He's out for the year.
Yeah.
I liked Mike Sanders still last year, the second-round corner out of Michigan, but this year it's not been as good. Like, they keep screwing around, like, boundary, slot, and so as it turns out, he's not Trent McDuffie. So, like, they probably should just pick him, like, for one area.
Right.
And that's been a problem. And then, like, Trey Amos is, like, Trey Amos, and Marshawn Lattimore has been, like, store-brand Marshawn Lattimore in Washington. It's not good.
Mm-mm.
It is not a good thing. They were dead last in yards per attempt and yards per completion allowed. They just get cooked.
Yeah.
And without Armstrong, that's a problem. And also, like, they've been cooked by teams that aren't even good. Like, it's not like they're playing like murder. I mean, Green Bay is good, but Dallas has a good offense, but like 44 points. Holy crap, man. Like, do something.
Yeah. Right.
And then, like, the Giants, they held the Giants down. Congratulations. Like, Geno cooked them. What? Yeah. Now, I mean, the Commanders won because, the Raiders. But Geno Truffaut, like, that is the thing here. You're like, man, the Raiders aren't the Chiefs, as we witnessed last weekend. And I wonder in this game if the Chiefs just come out and are like, you know what? Going to run about 8 times. Here it comes. Like, what are you going to do? And I don't know. I don't know what the answer is for Washington other than, like, pray and hope for mistakes and stuff. I don't know what the answer is from a schematic standpoint.
100%. And I think that, you hit the nail on the head when it comes down to schematics, even personnel-wise. Like, the Chiefs 53 is better than their 53. And they do have some pretty good linebackers, right? You mentioned Bobby Wagner, good linebacker. Frankie Luvu, good linebacker. Not good coverage linebackers. Neither of those guys can cover very well at all. So the middle of the field is going to be, I think, paramount for the Chiefs in this one, like for the Chiefs offense. And good news, Rashee Rice is back. And good news, Travis Kelce is now more open. So that could be a big game for the Chiefs offense in that regard. I'm glad that you brought up the Armstrong injury, because that is going to be a big loss for them as well. Not only just like the injury to Jaden Daniels being a big loss on that side of the football, but it's a huge loss to that defense in just terms of how well the Chiefs offensive line is playing right now. And they got the cohesion going, and they have the momentum going. This is going to be a game where they're going to have to carry that momentum. And Matt, you brought something up to me before we started recording. I think it's kind of an interesting point to kind of hit on when it comes to this game is, you talk about the spread of this game, 12.5 points.
Yep.
A lot of places think that this game is not going to be close. A lot of people who watch football, period, think this game is not going to be close. This game should not be close. The only reason it could be close is the Chiefs play the Buffalo Bills next week. I don't want to call this a trap game in air quotes, because I don't think it's a trap game, but I think it's a spot where you could call it a letdown spot, right? It's a letdown game. I think you teed it up to me perfectly, so I'm going to tee it up to you this way, Matt, when it comes to it. You just look at what the Chiefs did last week to the Raiders. Everyone is hot on the Chiefs now. Chiefs are up on power rankings. They're at the top of the ass list. They are the only list that matters. And they are just flying high. They face the Buffalo Bills next week. That's going to be a big game. They got to go to Buffalo. That's a big game. Yes. Anytime you have a game like Buffalo coming up on the horizon, it's easy for that game ahead of it to become that trap game in air quotes, or the letdown spot. That's going to be a huge, I think, emphasis in this game is just making sure that they don't lose anything in terms of momentum heading into the following weeks.
Yeah, look, I think this is the kind of game that, because it's at home and on Monday night and they didn't start off the season well, you'd hope they're like amply motivated for. It's also the kind of game where I don't care what they say at a lectern or at a podium. Let's be real. They are all sitting there going, well, Marcus Mariota is starting this game.
Yeah.
And they're 3-4, and we should beat this team by about 30 points. So, hey, cool, we're playing Buffalo in a week. Like, and I think that's Buffalo plays Carolina this weekend, and normally that would be a game I'd be like, oh my God, that is the biggest trap game on earth. Like, it's a noon game, 1 o'clock game out east. Like, it's on the road. The Red Rifles involved. Like, if there's ever a game where the Bills are just going to go out there and like just completely fall asleep, but they're off a bye and they've lost 2 games in a row. Like, I would imagine now if they lose that game, holy hell, like yikes, like Chernobyl watch at that point. But that's the thing with the Chiefs. I think the only way they lose this game, other than just what they did in Jacksonville, like just giving the game away in every possible way, the only way I think they lose this game is if they just go to bed on it. If it's just one of these things where they're just completely out to lunch for 4 quarters because all they can think about is playing Buffalo the following week. But they can't afford to do that. If they came into this game 6-1, that'd still be a really bad loss. But all right, they're not. They're 4-3. Like, they've got to win this game. They got to stack this win, put this team to bed. The plus side is if they do get out in front of them early and Washington's got to throw the ball the entire game.
Yeah.
Over. Because one thing they can do is run the ball. They're number 1 in the league in yards per carry. 5.4 yards per carry. And Krosky Merritt, their rookie, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt has been really good.
Oh, yeah.
Now, part of that average is because of Daniels. So factor that in. But yeah, I mean, to me, if I'm Spags, I'm like, he's not beating me. I don't care. And if Marcus Mariota wants to throw like push passes and like tunnel screen, fine, whatever. We can tackle. Yeah. But yeah, the Chiefs just cannot have one of these games where they're just like out to lunch and it's 17-6 at halftime.
And that's going to be a huge emphasis. And you got to think it will be, right? Night game, Monday Night Football, Arrowhead. You're not actually technically in a playoff spot right now. The Los Angeles Chargers won their game this week. It's the team you have to keep pace with. There's a lot of factors ahead into this to not be a letdown game, right? But that's what you have to make sure it's not in terms of going into this, because it is pretty crucial when you start to look ahead, man. You and I were kind of talking about this before the show started, too. You look ahead. I mean, the Chiefs are favored against the Bills next week on the road in Buffalo. I'm sure they're not looking at lines, right? They better not be after what happened to the NBA on Thursday. They better not be looking at any lines. We don't need any knocks on any doors in Kansas City. That would be. I'm gonna understate this. That'd be a big problem.
Well, I just asked apparently Chauncey Billups, who are like X-ray machines to see cards in a poker table. What is happening?
That's crazy.
Allegedly, whatever.
Yeah. Also, it's definitely Gilbert Arenas is ratting on all these guys, by the way, which is hilarious.
Possible.
It is crazy. But back to the Monday night game. This also game kind of feels weird because it feels like it's like so far away, man. I don't know if it feels like that at the time we're recording this podcast. It does feel like there's just like so many different variables as we record this and sit here on a Thursday night that we don't really know a whole lot of. It does seem like they're tracking for Debo to play. And it does seem like Terry McLaurin is tracking to play. It does seem like those guys will be tracking to play, but they're still going to be dealing with some of those lingering injuries and those lingering issues from those injuries. And I already mentioned it once, and I think it's worth mentioning again, is like this team is old. Like this is an old football team. Like their average age is the highest average age in the National Football League. They had Austin Eckler one time as one of their running backs, and he popped an Achilles. So, Bill had to take on a little bit more of the rushing attack for the Commanders, and he's done a great job. I really liked him coming out of Arizona State there. So, this game matchup wise, it feels like to me, Matt. I don't know what your read is too. It feels like what the Commanders are bad at, the Chiefs are good at offensively when it comes down to it. So it just kind of seems like a nightmare matchup for the Commanders.
Yeah. I mean, look, for starters, it's a bad matchup for the Commanders because they're just not anywhere near as good as Kansas City. So that's a problem.
Also fair.
But no, I mean, look, the reality is, like I said earlier, they're a terrible team against the pass.
Yeah.
They're legitimately the worst team in football. Yards per attempt, yards per completion. That is not good.
Mm-mm.
That is a blaring red siren going off. Like, hey, you might get blown out in this game if that doesn't change.
Yeah.
They're 21st in the league, points wise. Not that tells every story, but like, they're bad. They're bad on third down. Like they're average in the red zone. Like they got that going for them, I get. But like, they're the quarterbacks they faced this year: Russell Wilson, Jordan Love, Geno Smith, Michael Penix. Michael Penix, by the way, threw for 307 yards on him. Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams, and Dak. So, like, look, Herbert's a really good quarterback. Dak's having a really good year. And Jordan Love is a good quarterback. I don't know if he's great, but he's good. Mm-hmm. That is not exactly murderer's row.
No.
Like, it's all right, but, like, Geno Smith's been terrible. Russell Wilson, enough said. By the way, shout out to Russell for telling Sean Payton what to go do with it.
Yeah, there's only one person. I think there's only one person, well, maybe a couple of people in the world, but only one person in football I could say for sure that Russell Wilson could speak out against and people would be on Russell Wilson's side. He
knew when his moment came. He was like, yeah, this is it, boys. Here it comes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, out of those 7 guys, Herbert, Prescott, and Love are above average. I would say Williams is average. The other 3 guys are below average to horrendous. And like, you're that bad against the pass? Not great. Like, not exactly a great sign as you go into this game. I mean, it's just, look, defensively, you're without Dorrance Armstrong now. Von Miller is leading them in sacks. Von Miller is 47 years old.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I think if you're Washington, who, by the way, blitzes at the 9th highest rate in the league, you're in a spot here where you got to make a decision. Like, are you just going to go after him and hope to God, like, you can just do it enough and get home? Or do you just drop 7 and basically accept the fact that he is going, Mahomes is just going to go like 28 of 35 for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, but like it's going to be slowly.
Right.
Because I don't know. They cannot just match up with Kansas City in this game. They have no ability to do it. And that's why I think stopping the run is key in this game, because that is the only way they can slow down the Chiefs offense. Is just keeping them off the field, man. Running the ball, good on third down, have the ball for 35 minutes. Because if this is like a 10-possession game for the offense, good night. Like that's it. I mean, we talked about in the last show, the offensive starters over the last 4 weeks are scoring on a 70% clip.
It's insane.
Like, if that slows down and they scored 50%, but they get the ball 10 times, like, you got a problem. It's just, Washington is ill-equipped. Quite honestly, not to get ahead of ourselves here, but we're not the players, so we can get ahead of ourselves.
We can do whatever we want, yeah.
It's kind of, look, they're a much better team. The same thing's kind of true, though, in the Bills game.
Yeah?
Like, the Bills may be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
Because if they can't, I got to tell you, I've seen that Bills defense. I've watched every snap of the Bills this year. And I'm going to tell you something. If the Chiefs have the ball a lot against Buffalo, going to score a lot of points.
Right.
Like, now, again, the Bills are much better than Washington. Like, maybe they can just get into a shootout with them. And, but like, I don't have the number right in front of me. I believe in the Chiefs' last 59 regular season games, the defense has allowed 30 or more points once.
That's just a stupid stat. It's so stupid.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Like, if they get to 30, good luck to you. And in this game, like Dan Campbell, who's the coach of a really good football team, was like, listen, it's a win if we hold them under 30.
Yeah.
Like Dan Campbell walked out of the they gave up 30. Not terrible.
Right.
if you got Dan Quinn in an honest moment this week, like, what would he say? He'd probably be like, yeah, I don't know, a 34. Like, if we hold him under that, that's great. And we got to hope the offense and special teams, like, just find some way to do it. Like, it's not a matchup that Washington can win if the Chiefs play well.
And that's the other thing, too, is that, like, I think the Chiefs, like, C game probably still wins, right? Is that taboo to say? Like, I think, like, if the Chiefs play a C game, I think they eke out a win in the C game.
Probably. If they play a B game, they're going to win by 10 points.
Right. Yeah. It's still, yeah.
It'll be around the number. Like, and if they play an A game, they're going to win by 30. Like, they're just the one thing I will say on the flip side, we talked about it being a trap game potentially.
Mm-hmm.
The flip side of that is the offense. Mahomes has got to be going home just like sobbing in joy, right? Like years of this team just like not being able to do anything. Now all of a sudden it's just like, yeah, we'll do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
You do kind of wonder if they just come out offensively and it's like it's one of those games, 2 possessions in, you're like, this is over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the Raiders game was, where you just watch that game and by the end of the first quarter, you're like, cool, the Raiders can just get on the bus, take their customary lap around Arrowhead and go home. Like they have no chance in this game.
Yeah.
You do wonder if there's some of that in this one. And like if you're Washington too, are you a little deflated by the fact like you don't have Daniels?
Mm-hmm.
Look, professional athletes, every single one of them believe they're going to win every game they play, unless they're on the Jets, in which case they accepted reality weeks ago, maybe years ago, depending how long they've been there. I do wonder if there's a little part of like players on Washington, they're like, man, this is like getting led to the slaughter a little bit. Like it is Monday Night Football at Arrowhead against this team. Like I don't care who you are. There's got to be some part of you defensively watching that film. You're like, oh my God, I don't know. The hell do we do?
Yeah.
You know, like, so it'll be interesting. But I think as long as the Chiefs are just like mentally prepared,
yeah,
I think it's a pretty long night for the Commanders.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, this team is 4-3 heading into the game. I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if this team wasn't mentally prepared coming into this one. All right, we got to take a break. We got to burn our first time out here, but before we do, I'm calling all Chiefs fans. You guys already know. You could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is a proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Matt, the Los Angeles Chargers played a football game on Thursday night. We are recording after that game. We will talk about that coming up next and whatever else we want to talk about because it's our podcast, Chiefs.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
Matt, did you see that the Colorado Avalanche wore Nordiques sweaters?
Or did, and they played the Hurricanes who wore Whaler sweaters.
I mean, that's just stolen valor on stolen valor, right?
It really, it's like, I almost said something that could have got us in a lot of trouble.
Wouldn't have been the first time.
Wouldn't have been good. We would have got a call from Kissel. I'm trying to think if I eat candy like a child. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like stealing like your buddy's girlfriend and bringing her over to the house and be like, hey, you guys want to watch the
like you guys know each other, right?
It's bad enough already.
Yeah.
Now you're just rubbing it in everybody's face.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Nordiques were taken out of Quebec, not because they didn't have fan support, but because of like the financial issues that like the city was facing at the time, trying to get a new stadium. And Colorado took them like thieves. And
Stan Kroenke, I mean, that's just what he does, baby.
He doesn't care. Just joke to Stan Kroenke.
Yeah.
And so they take him, and then they, by the way, like, who knows another history of hockey? Not only did they take, so the Nordiques, the last season they were there, they were the 1 seed, and they got beat in the first round by an 8 seed, the defending champion Rangers. And then they got ripped out of Colorado or out of Quebec, moved to Colorado. They won the Stanley Cup the next year. Something they'd never done in Quebec. Yeah. So killer.
Yeah. I did not know
and then
about that.
the Whalers one bothers me more even in a way because like I mean, look, my family and I, we used to go up to Connecticut every year, and like I don't like shit about Hartford necessarily, but like,
Right.
good fans. The team sucked forever. Carolina gets the team because some businessman from Carolina buys the team, moves them down there after saying he wouldn't, of course. And then we lose one of the greatest logos of all time
Right.
for some bullshit ass logo that the Hurricanes are like, hey, look, a natural disaster, ha ha ha, and they just like threw that on the crest. And and since then they've just been, other than 1 year they won in 2006 with Cam Ward, they've just been choking dogs in every playoff series since. But to wear the Whalers gear after just torching the franchise is irredeemable.
Yeah.
Hartford will never get another team back, mostly because it's Hartford. But Quebec not having their team back is a joke. Like
It's
Winnipeg
kinda
got
crazy.
their team back,
Yeah.
and now they're like the NHL's flirting with like another team in Atlanta.
Yeah. They should
God
not do
Almighty,
that.
how many franchises you're going to put in Atlanta? You know, it's like the NFL with St. Louis. Like maybe this time, like no,
Yeah.
not this time either. It's still not going to work. Like how many times, or quite honestly, like even like really quietly, Los Angeles. Yeah, like how many teams are you going to put in Los Angeles? Like everybody else gets another home game. All right, like
Great point.
nobody in Los Angeles cares. Wake up, guys, but they don't care because like they just want to put the Super Bowl there. That's why there's really a team there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the NHL, like they had the Atlanta Flames, disaster. With Calgary, it's hockey, it's great.
Yeah.
Atlanta Thrashers, complete disaster. Also, the team sucked forever. Shout out to the Thrashers. So they move them up to Winnipeg. And now they're like, you know, maybe we're going to expand again. I don't know. Maybe put another team in Atlanta. Geez, I don't know. Maybe Quebec could use another team. Hell. Shout out to Kansas City. Like, put a hockey team in Kansas. Kansas City has supported the Royals, which I got to tell you, not the easiest team to support over the last 30 years, minus about 3 seasons there in the middle. So, also, has anyone seen the Chiefs before Mahomes?
Very great point.
Okay? And people, 80,000 strong at Arrowhead while Brody Croyle was slinging it. All right? So, yeah, I mean, it's just unbelievable. But yeah, I did see that's a great uniform matchup, but also it makes me sick.
Well, what made me think of it is that the Chargers wore some pretty damn good uniforms on Thursday Night Football.
Which is good, because on Sunday they looked like they pissed themselves.
Unspeakable things. And they played like they pissed themselves. And
human bananas for 4 quarters.
They wore better uniforms and played better. There's a correlation there. Or a causation, I should say. Not even correlation, it's a causation.
It's true.
I'm here to take a stand on that. But back to the NHL thing. I know that this is not that hockey show, but Houston, Atlanta, and Quebec City are the 3 cities that are like, they're not actively currently pursuing expansion, but those are the 3. But Houston and Atlanta are like the top 2 for them, which is absolutely bonkers, I think.
I know they can't probably do this because they're a province and not a country. Quebec should declare war on the national.
They should.
It's unbelievable. Houston's another one.
Yeah.
Lost a professional football team because people just stopped going to the Astrodome. Like, the Astros, when they're not good, nobody goes, nobody cares. Like, the Toyota Center is not exactly the toughest place to play in the NBA.
No.
Here, unless like they're really, really good. Like that was like when the Summit was big with Olajuwon for Fears. Yes, I'm sure there's just a massive amount of people in Houston, Texas, who can't wait to watch ice hockey.
Just fiending for hockey in Houston.
Oh my God! Why don't you just put another team in Phoenix and be done with it?
Phoenix didn't even want a team. Phoenix was like, actually, get these guys out of here.
Phoenix, like when the threat of relocation came, was the first time in the history of sports they're like, please God,
get them out of there. Yes, get them out of here.
Utah was like, sure, we got nothing going on, we'll take them.
Yeah.
Like it now, the Utah Mammoth, great name, but
they're 5-0 since they announced Tusky as their mascot. I don't know if
they're rolling, man.
They are. That's all they need.
Tucker fans, give them that.
Yeah.
But like, it's just. Some of these sports leagues, and then you've got all this stuff going on with the NBA where it's like apparently these guys are just laying down stacks of cash on the over-under. I love the video circulating on Twitter with Terry Rozier.
Yes.
It it's going to be tough to beat the allegations based off that video. Let's put it that way, okay? Yeah. Oh, my God. You know what they mean in an NBA game? It's just unreal. It's so bad.
It's been bad in the NBA, that all that gambling stuff. Luckily, nothing too severe has hit the NFL in that regard. The Jameson Williams stuff that happened, but I think his was even like betting on stuff that wasn't the NFL. Like he was betting on NBA games, I think is what he was actually betting on, ironically enough. But back to the Chargers. They looked good or their defense looked like they were a competent defense after not being able to stop a nosebleed at all the past 3 weeks. This week they play Carson Wentz and the Vikings. I don't think that's a coincidence. And they look like the 85 Bears. So I have updated the ass rankings. The ass rankings are up on the ass list is up on Twitter. I did not move the Chargers at all for this game. This game did not move me at all for the Chargers. I don't think I learned a lot about the Chargers in this game, truthfully.
What level are they on?
They're at the very top of ass. So they are teetering on between kind of ass and ass.
Okay. All right. So they're hanging in there.
They are.
I don't think you're wrong to not move them. Like, I feel like first of all, I feel like I learned nothing about either team. But Carson Wentz deserves his own tier. He deserves to be the first player to have a tier. Like, what in the hell, man? I know they can't block because they're missing like both tackles in the center. Like, it's good Lord. Like, what was it, like the fifth or sixth play of the game? He ran 20 yards backwards and just wailed the ball like he was trying to throw it out of a silo. You're like, what in the hell? What is that? Like, what are you doing?
That's not how they draw it up. I can promise you, Kevin O'Connell did not draw that play up like that.
My favorite play that explains everything about Carson Wentz, without me even having to say what I'm thinking, is the Chargers showed a corner blitz.
Yeah.
In the second quarter. And when I say show it, I mean like the corner stood on the line of scrimmage off of the edge rusher and was in like a NASCAR stance. Okay. Like they were not hiding that they were, like, I almost think like they genuinely wanted him to know to like speed him up to throw the ball.
Yeah.
He caught the ball in shotgun, looked right at the guy, and just wailed it into his helmet, and the ball went like 100 feet up in the air. And then that was when Wentz knocked it down and then left the field holding his left arm like he just got out of like Nam.
Right. He's at this game.
You know, like you've been in the league for almost 10 years. There's no way you don't see this guy coming off and if you do, you should be benched for the rest of your life. Like there's no way a high school kid would have looked over there and like, this guy's coming, I'm hot, right? Like I've got to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Nowhere. Just took his sweet time, waited till that guy got within about 6 inches of him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no, now's a good time to just wail it right at this guy's body and see what happens. Like, what are you doing? There's no world that is the correct play. Yeah, like, no, maybe you don't complete the pass. Maybe like the guy's covered. Maybe you even have to just eat it. Like that. But like, his answer was the worst possible answer. I'm just going to wail the ball into this guy's helmet and watch the ball go up and just hope to God it doesn't get pick six. Like,
yeah,
I got to tell you, honestly, and I know I get it. I'm sure they would have lost anyway by 1 million points. After watching him do that, I would have yanked him out of the game. Because the backup was
Max Brosmer. Yeah.
Fine. There's no way it's worse than that.
Yeah, that's a great point. There was a point there too in the group chats were firing off. They're like, we just got to get JJ back in here. I was like, well, tonight JJ can't be because he's the third emergency quarterback. So both him and Brosmer had to technically be declared out before he could be in there. But it was a rough go for Carson Wentz. I had tweeted out in the middle of that game, the Vikings are going to make Carson Wentz wish he was retired. But I think Carson Wentz makes the Vikings wish that Carson Wentz was retired. Is kind of.
I thought O'Connell might announce it just unilaterally after the game. Like Wentz was going to find out that way that he had retired.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, yeah, guys, I want to start. We I gotta say, Carson has retired.
All kidding aside, when he came off the field holding his left arm the first time, I really, like, not even to be funny, I really thought, like, when the trainer was looking at him, that O'Connell might just come over and be like, listen, you're injured.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you're not going back. And yeah, I don't care. Like, we're done with this. This is the thing about Wentz, like I've said this before, there are certain guys that even though they're not good, you feel like as a team, like you've got a shot. Like Jameis is the epitome of that.
Oh, yeah.
Just, hey, man, I'm in the foxhole with you, and I'm slinging. Like, we may lose. I might throw 5 picks, but, like, I'm going down firing every bullet in this chamber. And then there's guys like Russell Wilson who it's like soul-sucking. Like, oh, my God, man, throw the ball. Like, do anything. And then there's Carson Wentz, who just, like, so how many times was he sacked tonight? Do you know, by any chance?
It was at least 5 when they showed him at the end of the game. I think it was 5 at the end of the game. I'd have to double check because I don't think
I'll look real quick.
I don't think they ran the ball, or I don't think they passed the ball after he got sacked. Okay, that makes sense.
5 times. So he's been sacked in 5 games this year. He's been sacked 19 times. And I know you might say, "Oh, that's the offensive line," and yes, obviously part of that's the offensive line. Everywhere he goes, he's sacked an inordinate amount of times.
Yeah.
And by the way, Russell Wilson, also the same deal. Like, Russell Wilson always got sacked a million times. And that is because some of these guys just refuse to read the defense and get rid of the ball, and they just sit there and play hero ball with it. Now, Justin Fields does that too. Yeah. Justin Fields is a sack savant. He's been sacked 800 times in, like, 40 career games. And they just don't get rid of it. And, like, Wentz is the poster child for this. And I've got to imagine that is so much more depressing than playing for, like, old school Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's like, yep, here it comes.
Yeah.
It might be terrible, might be good. We're going to find out. But, like, I'm throwing it one way or the other. It's such a depressing, defeating way to lose a football game.
How many times did you say that Wentz has been sacked the last couple of weeks?
Before the year, he's been sacked 19 times.
Oh, 19 for the year. Okay. Patrick Mahomes so far this year is at 11. Patrick Mahomes in 2019 was sacked 17 times.
For the whole year.
For the whole year. Yeah.
Awesome. There you go. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, bro, throw it.
Yeah.
Like, my God, man, throw the ball. But he just stands there. I mean, it's honestly, it's one of the reasons Philadelphia got rid of him when they did. Like, he just, I don't think people take into account, or I mean, like, listen, probably a lot of people watching this show do because they're hardcore core fans of ball knowers. Yeah. But it's like, people look at quarterback hits and they go crazy over it. And, like, yeah, look, that is a good metric to, like, how much pressure you're getting.
Right.
But, man, if you get hit as a quarterback and you can get rid of the football, even if it's not a completion, it's just incompletion, that saves a massive, massive amount of, like, probability that you're going to be able to complete a first down, keep the drive going. Like, instead of it being 2nd and 18, it's 2nd and 10.
Right. Yep.
Where Wentz just gets blasted. And it's like, okay, great. Now it's 2nd and 22. Thanks, Carson. What are we going to do with this? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? And it adds on. And again, he's done this forever. Like, it's just got to be the most depressing way to lose a football game.
Yeah.
When you're just like, yeah, look at that. Yeah, took another sack. I don't know. Whatever. Sorry. I just ended 5 drives because I can't throw the ball away. Yeah. And by the way, he did that against Pittsburgh. Like, he cost him that game overseas when they were, like, actually, like, they had a shot to win. And he took a ridiculous sack and they had no timeouts. And then on top of that, took an intentional grounding penalty.
He was sacked 11% of dropbacks in that game. 11.5% of his dropbacks. On the year, he's been sacked 11.9% of his drop, almost 9%. 8.97% this year. So almost 9% of his dropbacks this year in total. Against the Bengals, he was sacked 13%. On 13% of his dropbacks. They won that game, but he was sacked on 13% of his dropbacks.
The Bengals aren't even a team.
They suck at defense. They got guys actively winning off of their roster.
Yes, true. Logan Wilson.
Yeah.
This is why that's why, honestly, I would have just gone to Prosper in the game. But I don't care. I can't take it anymore. anything else other than watching this. Like, it's amazing that he keeps getting opportunities. And, one of these days I'm going to write about this. It's such a phenomenon to me. If he wasn't the second overall pick in the draft,
ooh,
and he was a 40th, he was Tyler Shuck, there's no way in hell he's still in the NFL.
Tyler Shuck, shout out.
Yeah. Okay. If he was drafted where Sky Moore was drafted,
There
bang, did it. Okay?
Boom. We got it.
Like, if he was, there's no way he's in the league right now.
Right.
He's like, look, he had one great year in Philly when he was going to be the MVP of the league.
Uh-huh.
He got hurt. Feel for him. He has never been the same player.
Nope.
And I don't know if that's coincidence or maybe the league just caught up to him or whatever, but like, it's the same reason Marcus Mariota is still in the league.
Yeah.
Like, if Marcus Mariota was a third-round quarterback, now I'll give Marcus Mariota this. He seems like super well-liked, and that as a backup, I do feel like that's a big part of it. Like, you just fit into the room, and you're...
Got to be huge, yeah.
Yeah, like, got to tell you, don't know that that's a strong suit for Carson Wentz either. I mean, not saying he's like a horrible person, but I've never heard, like, horrible things about him, but it just doesn't seem like...
We don't hear, this guy's a great locker room guy.
You don't. The reason I said that, in full disclosure, is I remember being at the Combine years ago and the Colts were trying to trade him.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris Ballard, was standing at the podium next to Brett Veach. So I was looking at fans at the time, and I'm listening to Veach talk. And I'm noticing, like, a congregation around Ballard. And then I started listening to Ballard as he's talking. And I think it's fair to say, it was an all-you-can-eat character assassination for about 15 solid minutes. And I was like, I have never heard any team personnel talk about a player like that in my life. He basically was like, get this guy off the team now. And Irsay was right there with him. Like, Irsay basically demanded he was gone.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best vibes guy in the world. Let's just like... And part of that, again, I don't know the personality as much. It's just like, it's just soul sucking watching it. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, like, if he wasn't the second overall pick, there's no way in hell this guy's still starting NFL games.
Right. Yeah.
But here we are.
Here we are indeed. Look, I don't think we learned a whole lot about really either team, as you mentioned. I do think that the Vikings are a lot worse than I thought they were going to be. Is what I think I learned from that game. I don't think, like, Justin Herbert throwing for 400 yards in garbage time didn't really teach me a whole lot, right, against like the Colts last week. Yeah. And like this game didn't really show me a whole lot. I do think, though, this might be, I don't know, Herbert threw, I thought that was a pick six. I thought that was an interception.
I did too. I was surprised he overturned it. And
I don't think that changes the game a whole lot, right? Because of how the Vikings defense played, but then that's a 14-point swing right there. You're assuming made extra points, but that's a 14-point swing right there.
It's not assumed.
Yeah, shouldn't.
No, we've learned.
Mm-hmm.
It's look, I think there are like certain guys that for whatever the reason they get like the benefit of every day. Jeff George was like that. He played forever.
Yeah.
Jason Whitlock just loved Jeff George because like they went to high school together or something. Like that was like a whole bit for years on end.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the Vikings and the Vikings are worse than I thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers are just the Chargers. Like I still think they're going to win like 10 games.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like they're what they are. They're fine. They're okay. Like they're not like bad, but they're just kind of there. And then, like, it's kind of funny, the AFC West in general. The Raiders are terrible. I thought they'd be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers are like a 10-win team. It's about what I thought they'd be.
Right.
The Broncos, I picked to make the playoffs for the year, and I think they will make the playoffs, but the Broncos are the exact same team they were a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
In Kansas City, who's 4-3, like, I picked them to get back to the Super Bowl because I really just believe they're the best in the AFC. And they're somehow 4-3 and simultaneously exceeding my expectations.
Right.
Like somehow better than I thought they would be. And picked them to go to the Super Bowl, and they're 4-3. And somehow all that is coexisting in the same sentence. But
yeah, it's very odd. It's an odd existence right now.
It's very
In
the
the
whole
AFC West.
league is so strange, and like
Yeah.
I've learned over the years the NFL is like a week to week proposition for like 90% of teams.
Yeah.
This year, that is truer than ever before. Look, like the Eagles play the Giants this weekend. The Eagles should win that game. I could see the Giants going into Philadelphia and just, as you would say, just belt the ass for 4 quarters. You're like, what is happening? Like,
Imagine.
Scatterboos just rushing for like $150. You're like,
They beat them once already.
killed them. They beat them 34-17. Like,
Yeah.
like even like there are very few games at this point where I'm just like, that other team has no shot. I mean, you're like, all right, Tennessee's got no shot. They're not going to beat Indianapolis in Indianapolis. But like most games, most of them, you look at them and you're like, yeah, Browns, Pats. And then you're like, well, Browns might play defense in this game. Like, I don't know, maybe. Like, I don't think so, but maybe. Also the Jets. But like, even the Jets, like they're at the Bengals this weekend. You're like,
Maybe they could. Brady Cook starting?
like
Brady
this
Cook's
is-
going to start for
like
that too?
Tyrod Taylor is going to like cook the Bengals for like 30 points. Like, it's possible. Like, it's a weird year. Like the Carolina Buffalo game, like is like I think Buffalo's going to win, but I also wouldn't be surprised if like Rico Dowdle goes for like 200 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
we'll turn back the clock action for the Red Rifle.
I mean, it's a crazy landscape. We got to dive into it more, but first, you guys know we got to take a time out, and we're going to take a break. On the other side, I'll be back with Benny. We'll talk about some of Benny's picks he's got going on for the week. National Tight End Day. We're going to talk a little tight ends. We're going to talk to the Sunday Night Football, big Sunday Night Football matchup as well. See what Benny likes in that one with the Packers and the Steelers. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a break. I'll be with Benny back right after this. Chiefs.
I'm Brett Goodwin, one of the owners of The Learning Tree. The Learning Tree is a neighborhood toy store in Prairie Village, Kansas. This has been here in this location since 2000s, and my husband Alan and I purchased the store in 2023. Alan and I grew up in families where we've always wanted to have a business together. Alan grew up, for instance, his parents had a jewelry store. I worked in a local toy store here in Prairie Village when I was growing up. When this opportunity happened in 2023, we knew right away we wanted to contact them and pursue the store. We wouldn't have been able to get the store without the team at Emprise Bank. From the day we contacted them, they knew what we needed to do, which was very helpful. I would absolutely recommend the team at Emprise Bank to anyone looking to secure a business. We worked with Emprise from day one. They were extremely helpful. They were always great resources. We talk to them frequently. They know the area. They're very friendly. We know who we're going to talk with, and they know what we need to do. We hope we'll see you at the Learning Tree.
Benny, appreciate you joining me again for week 8. Some picks, Benny's bets, Benny's gambling corner, whatever we want to call it here. Benny, appreciate you joining me on that football show.
Always good to see you, Tucker. I don't know if we've come up with an official name yet. I think it's just, it's a show. We talk about the football show, picks on the football show, and I think people seem to be okay with it.
Maybe it's that sports betting show now. That football betting show is what this new segment. We need to make a new header. That's my job.
Hold on. I'm gonna text my mom and my wife and be like, I made it. There you go. Okay, now we can continue.
Perfect. I'll get on making a new header. I'll just put like a little sticky note after football, and it's just a football betting show, and that's all it's gonna say.
Now it's
Yeah.
StreamYard has those capabilities. Look at this.
Right. Yeah. The little carrot, the editing tool where you can do like a little carrot when you get your papers edited by the teacher, and she'd add in a word there. That's what I'm going to do right there at football show. We'll get it done. We're going to talk about your picks for this weekend, though.
Really quickly, just because you brought up the subject of having your papers edited in school. I used to think that, when you're a grown adult, that feeling like goes away. No. When you work in the communications world and you put together a brief and the Microsoft Word document is tracked in editing mode, and it's just all sorts of carrots and comments and scribbles, and it's like, I thought I was done with this. No, this never escapes you. This will follow you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, pretty much everything I think does that. Will follow you for the rest of your life. At least if you're anything like me, and hopefully these picks won't follow you for the rest of your life either. So hopefully what we're banking on here. But week 8 NFL action. underway. We're rocking and rolling for a full loaded Sunday slate. Look, only one Monday night game with it being the Kansas City Chiefs. We probably have a little bit more, some more doubleheaders, but nevertheless, a lot of games happening on Sunday, how it was intended to happen. And, Ben, it's National Tight Ends Day. National Tight Ends Day on Sunday. Super excited.
It's fun. I always like when Scott Hansen just goes nuts about this on NFL Red Zone. And then like Spurman on NFL Primetime is, let's be the first. Wish all of you a very happy National Tight Ends Day. Yep. I saw this note from the great Evan Abrams over at Action Network. He actually went back and tracked how many tight ends got into the end zone, scored anytime touchdowns over the past 4 seasons. So from 2021 to 2023, a combined 20 tight ends found pay dirt on National Tight Ends Day. Last year, tight ends just went berserk. I don't know if coaches just fell into the narrative, if they just decided that they were going to hype up the narrative even more. I don't know if big tight end got to the industry. But 15 tight ends last year alone got themselves into the end zone. So I know a lot of you are probably thinking, well, who does that mean I should consider for this matchup? There's still some props over at DraftKings Sportsbook that have yet to come out. But if you are curious, Travis Kelce is -105 for an anytime touchdown in the matchup against Washington. If you think he's going to get in the end zone twice, it's +550. And for Travis to score the first touchdown, while everybody is paying attention to Rashee Rice, you can get him at 6-1 right now over at DraftKings Sportsbook. So a few different intriguing angles there, at least if you're looking on the Chiefs side. The one play that I'm intrigued by, and probably the play that I'm going to be targeting, is actually a game that I don't think a whole lot of people feel that great about. And that is the New York Jets taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. If Mason Taylor plays, and again, he's still questionable. But I do think that's going to be a really good value play on the board because the Bengals, Tucker, have just been dog crap at stopping tight ends this year. They've allowed by far and away the most tight ends touchdowns in the league with 9 through the first 7 weeks of the season. If you're playing DraftKings Fantasy, they've given up a total of 159 DraftKings points over the course of the season, 48 receptions, 536 yards through the air. That has been just a brutal spot. So watch out for Mason Taylor. If he ends up playing, I think you might be able to get a really nice value for the New York Jets. Yay, betting on Jets props. But the value is there, I think, and certainly it's a matchup that's worth considering.
Unbelievable. I love the pick, Benny. My thought was I've had some people, as you know, as I am the president and CEO of the Big Bob Booster Club.
Yes.
There could be some garbage time in the Chiefs game. Big Bob could possibly get in the game, could sneak out in the red zone, could find himself as a big target. Maybe they need to run a little bit more 2 tight end sets or try to get some more guys on the field. Big Bob has been playing a pretty decent amount, but he hasn't ran a ton of routes. He's been in there as like the blocking tight end. What do you have the numbers up in front of you? I don't have them right here. What's old Bob Tunyon at for me?
They're juicy. You ready for this? An anytime touchdown for one Bob Tunyon, 18-1. For him to score 2 touchdowns, 200-1, and for him to score the first touchdown of the game, 80-1. If this ends up coming into fruition, maybe you consider somebody like Bob Tunyon for a last touchdown prop. I don't know if they've released those yet on DraftKings. Those are sometimes my favorite if you're looking for, I like to do this oftentimes with a team that's heavily favored and then find like a backup running back in that matchup. And sometimes you're finding guys at like 20 or 30 or 40-1. So if Bob Tunyon for a last touchdown bet becomes available at DraftKings, listen, I guess the anytime touchdown line at 18-1 feels pretty good, but maybe you sprinkle a little bit on the last touchdown as well. I like that play.
Look, I've got to support my guy. I got to support my guy, Bob Tunyon. You think it's be National Tight Ends Day? You think Aaron's going to try to share the wealth a little bit? Got to get Noah Gray some. Got to get Travis Kelce. Big Bob, go to that back line. Go throw you a jump ball. We'll get you a touchdown. I'm going to be placing maybe a couple bucks on Big Bob just in case. Absolutely. I don't want him to score a touchdown and me not benefit from it, right? So
especially if you're holding the torch, you're just going to feel like that's going to be the most amount of FOMO that you have this entire season.
Yes,
like the one time Bob gets into the end zone and you do not place that bet on DraftKings, you're going to be very upset with yourself.
Right, he is, as I'm looking at it right now. Has better odds than Ben Sinnott. Has better odds than Ben Sinnott to get in there. He's got better odds than no touchdown scorer at all, and he has better yards than a Colston Yankoff. I haven't heard of that guy. And John Bates. Like, those are the only players that he's got better odds in. He's the Chiefs player that has the furthest odds, I guess you would call it, to score a touchdown. And Jared Wiley has better odds, and he's been inactive all year. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy too. Colston Yankoff was my porn name.
It goes well. I mean, how do you steal that? That's crazy.
It was sitting right there, man.
Oh, dude. I saw somebody tweet a picture of the back of his jersey, I think last week, and I was like, there's no way that's a real person. This is AI. This could not be real. This could not be real. But unfortunately for Mr. Colston, for Mr. Yankoff, it is real. Let's talk about another
Yankoff. You imagine that in school, like
right.
Yankoff. Nah, man, no, that's not what we're calling you.
So brutal. Feel bad for Colston.
Yes.
Another guy that I don't really feel a whole lot bad for, Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are taking on the Green Bay Packers. We get another version of an Aaron Rodgers revenge game going on here. Well, Steelers seem like they're playing some good ball right now, taking on the Packers, who have definitely fallen down from where they were at the beginning of the season and come back to earth a little bit.
Absolutely. Green Bay still, if you're looking at some of the division lines, the defense still has played pretty well, maybe not as dominant as maybe we thought, given Micah Parsons coming into play. But they're still right near the top of the division. Steelers playing better. It's a very winnable division now at this point.
Yeah.
But the line is interesting to me for a multitude of reasons. If you go and check it out right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, that line Sunday Night Football has been flip-flopping between 3 and 3.5. Right now it's at 3, but very possible scenario that it could go to 3.5. This typically, even regardless of whether or not you get the hook or not, Tucker, has been a historical spot going back since Mike Tomlin has been the head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Think about it from this perspective. As a home dog in 32 games over Mike Tomlin's career as a head coach of the Steelers, it's almost an automatic play, because in 32 games, he's 22-7-3 against the spread. But as a home underdog, he's also 19-13 straight up. Huh. So it doesn't happen often when Pittsburgh is a home dog, and maybe it's not always by a ton of points, but they win outright at like near 67% clip. And then you factor in Pittsburgh coming off of a loss, 61-46 against the spread, 25-14 against the spread as an underdog off of a loss, 12-3 against the spread as a home underdog off of a loss. Yes, there's the revenge game factor for Aaron Rodgers, certainly that plays into effect here. But everything is just coming up Millhouse right now for Pittsburgh historically in this spot. And especially if you're able to get that hook over at DraftKings and take advantage and get into 3.5. That's one of my favorite plays of the week, to take Pittsburgh plus 3.5 in this matchup at home.
It's going to be a fun game to watch, too. All the storylines, all the narratives going around it. That's definitely going to be one of the ones that they're going to be talking about a whole lot going into next week, and kind of beyond as well for the storylines that lead into it. But Benny, let's wrap up here. Your pick with the Chiefs game. We'll obviously hear your pick on 5 things. If you want Benny's Chiefs pick, go listen to that. Let's tease it up a little bit. How would you tease up your pick for Chiefs Commanders Monday Night Football? Last Monday Night Football game of the year for the Chiefs so far, I should say. I guess they could get flexed into another one. But last Monday Night Football game of the year. Let's tease this pick up a little bit.
So I will tell you that at first glance, seeing Washington, a team who went to the NFC Championship game just a year ago, at a 12.5 point road dog is a bit jarring. And yeah, everything is coming up roses right now for the Chiefs. But at first glance, that number feels a bit high, but it's not the direction that I'm going to be going for my favorite pick in this upcoming matchup. I'm actually going to focus on the total on a play that is seeing 51% of the money despite only 38% of the betting tickets. I like a particular play in this total, and especially here's a trend that also I'll tease up for you. When both teams play off of extended rest, this trend has gone 114, 71, and 3 since 2018, hitting at a 61% clip. So check out 5 things. We'll go into it in a little bit further detail, but I am on a total play for the Monday night matchup between the Commanders and the Chiefs.
Interesting. Those are always fun ones too. Just cheer them for whatever, or for points or no points. I do always enjoy that. But if you want to get in on Benny's play, if you want to get in on fade Benny, you want to fade Benny, you want to join him.
You will not be the first one.
you got
the last one either.
You got to get in at DraftKings Sportsbook. And you guys already know, if you're listening to the podcast, my favorite touchdown is the next one, because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From the first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props like we were talking earlier, or the thrill live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. And here's the best part. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. You guys already know that I use DraftKings Sportsbook, and you should too. Your team hitting pay door pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Benny, thank you for joining me.
Always a pleasure. Talk to you next week, man.
Matt, you started to dive into it before we took that break. Before I dove in with Benny, but the slate, the schedule this week is an interesting one. One of the games that I in the noon window have my eyes on, might not be a game that I think typical eyes will be looking at. Bears at Ravens. This could be a return of Lamar Jackson. We're gonna get to really see if these 4 straight win Bears are actually good. And if the Ravens can actually be healthy and be a competent football team. It's a good test for both of those teams, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. Look, so the Bears won a 4-game win streak, but have beaten less than stellar competition.
Yeah, it's like the Saints, I think, are in there.
The Saints are in there. The Raiders are in there. Oh, they needed a miracle to beat the Raiders. The Commanders are in there. They needed a fumble in the final 2 minutes to win that game.
That's right.
They played somebody else who I believe is also terrible. I'm not, I'm too lazy to look it up. I can't remember.
It's the Bears. We don't know.
It's irrelevant. Yeah. Look, this game to me is all about Baltimore from the standpoint of if the Bears lose this game, okay, fine, you're 4-3, whatever.
Yeah.
This is like the Ravens are to a point at 1-5 where you are out of runway.
Yeah, they got to win out.
I mean, I ain't gonna win, but you gotta probably go 8-2, get in the playoffs. Maybe win out to win the division.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of these deals like if Lamar's back is he healthy back, or is it like he's like out there because otherwise Snoop Hunley and Cooper Rush are out there? That's not good. It's a hamstring injury. Can he run? Can he do what he needs to do? Is he stationary as hell? Does he re-injure it? That's a notorious injury that, like, unfortunately, guys like re-injure all the time because it's just so easy to just trigger that, and all of a sudden you're out for another month. There's a lot of questions around it, and look, I mean, they need him now. They need to be special now. They don't have the luxury. Now, the good side is they play the Dolphins on Thursday Night Football after that, which I couldn't believe Amazon had the guts to actually advertise that.
Incredible, actually.
I also love that Al Michaels is just openly furious with the league. That
he does not give a fuck anymore. It's the best thing ever.
You know what's great about Al Michaels? Like, he knows that they can't touch him.
Yeah, 100%.
As a Knicks fan growing up my whole life, like, they always sucked after the 90s, and the only thing that made it worth watching was Clyde Frazier, who, for anyone who doesn't know who he was the man. He was Clyde Frazier was a Hall of Fame point guard for the Knicks, won 2 titles.
Yeah.
He's like the most beloved Knick of all time. And they were on MSG Network, like being paid by the Knicks, and he was the color analyst. And man, I'm telling you, he would rip the shit out of that team game after game after game. There's like, they can't touch him.
Yeah.
The fans will go into open revolt if they fire. Everybody loved him because he was saying what everybody was thinking.
Yeah.
One of the greatest lines, now we can get back to the schedule, one of the greatest lines of all time. So I was in probably 14, 15, on the cusp of high school. And I'm watching a game at my parents' house with my dad, and they're playing the Bucks. Now, mind you, this is not the Giannis Bucks. This is like the Michael Red, we're not good Bucks. Okay. Like Vin Baker at the end. It was a terrible thing. And the Knicks were also terrible. So it's just like brutal game in the middle of the winter. And the Bucks had a guy named Irvin Johnson. Goes up to the line, and Mike Breen, who's still to this day most of the time the Knicks home announcer, is talking to Frazier, and he's like, "Oh, Clyde, Irvin Johnson, blah blah. Obviously shares the name of the very famous Irvin Johnson. Played for, and he's going this whole thing about this guy's background. Everything. Frazier's just disgusted by his entire game at this point. It's so bad, right? This guy goes to shoot a free throw, and he misses. And just completely deadpan, Frazier goes, Irvin Johnson, no magic in his game. And just like Breen had to have hit like the mute button. Like nobody's a word for like 30 seconds. Yeah. It was so great. It was like he was so offended, remains, even though he's 80 now, still does the games. He's so offended by his poor play. That's all they were for 20 years.
Right.
And I got to tell you, they should hire him for the Dolphins Ravens Thursday night game.
Man.
Because I know what the Ravens are going to give us, but I know what the Dolphins are going to give us. Does McDaniel just openly fight his team on the sideline at some point this week or next?
Here's the thing about that whole situation is I saw somebody float this out there. Is like they should get rid of Tua before they get rid of McDaniel, probably.
My question is how?
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
How? What do you? I mean, if you look at his contract, you can't. So you're just stuck with him, But man, I'm telling you,
it was such a bad contract. We knew it was a bad contract when they signed it. I remember we were just like, "That's not good for them."
I wrote a massive column on Sports Illustrated like a month before he signed it. I'm like, that is a horrendous idea. Do not extend this guy. Got quotes from all different defense coordinators around the league who are like, can't wait to play him.
Yeah.
Just openly, yeah, awesome, great, bring him on. And yeah, no, they're stuck with him. But also McDaniel might be the first coach I can remember who was actively trying to get himself fired in pressers. He just walks up there so Mike, how do you feel about this game? What do you have to do this week? He's like, well, if we don't throw 10 interceptions, that'd be a start.
I liked when they asked him when they said good morning. He's like, no, great morning, and they're like, why is it a great morning? He's like, because we're one day closer to death.
Man's honest.
Holy shit, Mike. That's insane.
You know how when they show a president on his inauguration day?
Yeah.
and then they have like the pictures like 8 years later, and the guy looks like he's aged like 40 years.
Right.
That's Mike McDaniel. Like Mike McDaniel, they take
8 weeks.
Yeah. Like Mike McDaniel looks like he's been through like the entire Civil War and back. You're like, oh my God, like somebody help this guy.
Poor guy, Mike McDaniel. I kind of feel bad for Mike McDaniel. I probably shouldn't, because he's part of the reason that he's in that. He is the reason he's in that situation, right? Yeah. But I just think that like Tua stinks so bad, and I think that Mike McDaniel's still like a good offensive coach and like still a good, decent mind at least in football. Maybe he's a good offensive coordinator, right? Sometimes good offensive coordinators are not head coaches, right? Like it's two very different skill sets when it comes to coaching
all the time.
And maybe he's just a really good offensive coordinator and should be the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs when Matt Nagy is the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. Maybe that's what happened.
If Matt Nagy gets hired by the Titans, Chiefs fans are going to be going bonkers, right? It doesn't matter. They have like the best offensive football right now.
Did you see the list of? We haven't talked about this, I don't think. The list of coaches that like this is who Tennessee is targeting. It's like him and like Arthur Smith. And I'd be like, if I was the Tennessee Titans, a Titans fan, I would riot. So you're not going to give me Matt Nagy or Arthur Smith. Get out of here.
Just burn the stadium down. In front
I mean, the new one, you got to burn the hole in the ground they have over there right by Nissan Stadium. But, oh, dude, just an awful list. I did see that they are putting the Colts and Titans. That's a 325 game. That seems kind of odd. That's a 325 game.
That's aggressive.
Also in the AFC, the Cowboys are going to the Broncos. That's going to be a game I think I'll probably, in that 325 slot, probably have my eyes on the most. I think that's going to be the one when you look at 506 Sports. That's the one that's going to be in the Kansas City and surround area because I think that game is kind of like their national-ish game that is in that 325 window for CBS. That game is going to be wildly interesting because we know that the Cowboys offense is really good. The Dallas defense, the Broncos. What's throwing me off is the Broncos logo on the NFL.com right now is the throwback D logo with the horse in it. That's why I keep trying to say Dallas because I keep seeing D. But nevertheless, Cowboys offense really good.
Yes.
Broncos defense also really good. Funny enough, Cowboys defense, not very good. Broncos offense, also not very good.
It's going to be a great game to watch because you're going to have like two elite units on the field simultaneously.
Yes.
And then they're going to punt, and Fox is just going to pull the plug on the game when Bo Nix is against the Cowboys defense. Like if Bo Nix can't light up Dallas's defense at home,
yeah,
it's not great for Bo Nix.
No.
But I feel like that's one of those games like you just like you have Sunday ticket like you're watching when Dak's on the field against that defense, and then after they punt or they score, you're like, all right, click it off until Dallas gets the ball back. Can't watch that. It's like unbelievable football and then like horrific beyond words football, depending on which team has the football in hand at the moment.
Well, it's like those are the other games that they have. I already mentioned the Titans and the Colts. Then it's Bucks at Saints. So like you don't really have great windows in the great games in the 325 window. Maybe the Titans Colts will be a burner, or maybe Bucks Saints will be because the Bucks have their practice squad playing for them. But I mean, that game not very like I'll probably be locked into that game just because the AFC West implications. Look, Chiefs fans are going to be Cowboys fans at 325 on Sunday. They'll be probably cheering for the Cowboys in that one for the divisional standings, especially with the Chargers already winning their game this week, and the Raiders on a bye. Not that you had to worry about the Raiders, but
the Raiders, quite frankly, haven't played in weeks. Okay.
Their bye started last week, actually.
Yeah, you got a couple of weeks extra.
They got a head start on it. They're on a bye with Detroit, Jacksonville, the Raiders, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals all on bye. Any other games, Matt, you want to hit on? You mentioned Giants, Eagles, Browns, Patriots was an interesting one. Niners play the Texans this week as well.
Yeah, that game's kind of interesting, I guess, if I had to pick one. Like, the Texans are one, I said it's, the Ravens, like, they're running out of runway here.
Yeah.
Houston, I know they're 2-4 and not 1-5. I got to tell you, they're less talented, and like they're at the same point of their runaway. Can't keep losing games, guys. Can't just keep losing every freaking game you play, and they still have to play the Chiefs at Arrowhead. They got to play the Chargers on the road. They got to play Denver at home. They got to play the Bills on a Thursday night at home. They got to play the Colts twice. Like, woof. Okay, not good. Not good.
Did they win that division last year?
Yeah, they won the division. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're playing a first place schedule with the team that's not a first place team.
They are not. They are not good. And so they are playing where are they on your ass list?
Ooh, the Texans, that's a great question.
They've got to be, what are they, I'm guessing super ass.
They are mega ass. They are mega ass behind the Jaguars. They lost to the Jaguars. Yeah. And I just put the Vikings below them. So I just put the Vikings below the Texans, and the Ravens are below the Texans as well. The Texans did beat the Ravens.
Demolished them,
yeah. So that's they're mega ass right now. I feel pretty comfortable with them at mega ass, truthfully. They're comfortably mega ass.
So here's every player that's caught a pass for the Houston Texans this year.
No, they'd all be.
There's a Nico Collins. He's actually good.
For sure, yeah.
Dalton Schultz.
Okay.
Xavier Hutchinson.
I don't know who that is.
Nobody does. Jaden Higgins. Woody Marks. Christian Kirk.
Oh.
Jalen Noel. Nick Chubb. Justin Watson. Shout out. 30 yards. Brendan Bates, Cade Stover, Dario Ogunbowale, Harrison Bryant. Braxton Berrios actually has negative yardage as a receiver.
Shout out Braxton.
Yeah, great season. Like they can't score it in the offense.
Yeah, the funny thing is they play the low scoring games like all time, right? Because I think their defense is only allowed 88 points too. So like I think their defense is like the best like scoring defense in the.
Yes, it is. But real question here as we wrap.
Yep.
Is CJ Stroud like? Do you think CJ Stroud is good?
That's a really good question. I think the league caught up to him. I think his rookie year he did a lot of really good stuff. His second year obviously was different. It was and I know that they. Was it that second year that they changed offensive coordinators? They went from Slowick to
this year.
Okay, so this year. Okay, so
Slowick was there last year.
Okay, I've got my years mixed up. That's right. So I think going to the different offensive coordinator, I don't think that they have done a very good service to him in terms of how they've built their offensive line and how they've built around him. I think they've done a really poor job with that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's bad. Like, I think he's average. I don't think he's like particularly good. I don't think he's particularly bad, but it's so hard for me to tell because they have built just a terrible team around him.
My working theory is I actually think that guy is really good, and they are just destroying him because they cannot block.
Yeah.
They have Nico Collins, and then you and me catching passes. I mean, it's just like watching the Texans. You watch the games, and you're like, you can if you pay attention close enough watching them. You can just call out the play starting in like the middle of the second quarter. You're like, oh, yeah, I know that formation. Like, they don't do anything differently. Ever. Like, it's the same game. And like last year, they fired Slowick, but I covered that playoff game last year. The Texans are actively, like, intentionally trying to block George Karlaftis with Dalton Schultz.
Yeah.
Shockingly, George Karlaftis had 3 sacks in that game, and the Chiefs had 8.
Coverage must have been good.
Hey. He did a great job in that game. But it's just like you watch the Texans and you really, at least I ask myself, like, how did you fuck this up this badly?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I think he's better than Bryce Young for sure.
Line was a tire fire going into the year. And they're like, it'd be great if we trade Laramie Tunsil and then just do nothing.
Yeah.
Great plan. Great. Awesome.
I do think that he's better than Bryce Young.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Low bar to clear. I thought he was the best quarterback coming out of the draft. I think they made the right pick, right?
Yes.
So like, I don't think that you can fault them in any ways in that regard, but you can fault them in every ways about how they've tried to build that roster around him offensively, because it is trading Larry Tunsil is one of the things you're just like, what are you doing? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you're actively trying to get better on the offensive line and you're trading your best offensive lineman? Like, it's kind of like when the Chiefs traded Joe Thuney, actually. But that kind of worked out because
nobody knew was Sul Matia was playing coy all last year. And
it goes to the chest.
And he was just lulling everybody into a false sense of panic before he was going to come out and play like Joe Thuney on steroids.
So, we got Joe Thuney at home. We can trade this Joe Thuney. We got Joe Thuney in the locker room.
Veach, no. Veach, listen, go out there and play really poorly for first year and a half, and then just become the most dominant guard they've had since Will Shields.
It's insane.
It's unbelievable what's happening, but okay.
And now they have two. Now they have 2 offensive tackles. They got 2 left tackles on this team.
Yeah, somehow this team went from starting 4 tackles last year who couldn't do anything to now having 2 left tackles who are just absolute dynamite. Like we were talking about this pre-show, like they've obviously lost Josh Simmons indefinitely to personal reasons.
Right. Yeah.
This would be 100 times a bigger story in Kansas City, except for the fact that Jalen Moore came in to face Aiden Hutchinson and Max Crosby. It was just like, not a problem. Got it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah.
It has been really incredible, truthfully. I'm curious to see if there's any bit of like the league catching up to Jalen Moore, because with more tape of him out there, left tackle, like maybe there could be a little bit of a catch up. And I wouldn't be surprised, but we'll see. I think they've done a good job of like play calling wise protecting him, and I don't think they necessarily. And this isn't. It doesn't feel like that they necessarily trust him as much as they trusted Josh Simmons, because of like, if you look at some of the drop stuff that they've done, and I think Matt Lane and Ken Swanson have talked about this on the lab, the 9-step drop stuff is not there. Like they're not doing that same 9-step drop where Pat and then they just let it eat. I mean, they're calling plays to kind of put them in a good spot, which was a great coaching is what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea to do that. You shouldn't do plays that like you're going to be bad at. Don't run those plays.
I love the people who now it's like there's nothing to criticize Mahomes about because he's like the MVP of the league currently.
Yeah,
and now you've got the whole yeah, all he's doing is just playing the quick games. Like, yeah, well, I got to tell you, have you seen this offense?
Right. They got him Yatrick now is his nickname.
Yeah, it's like, no, you know what? Yeah, no, it'd be a better idea. By the way, Josh Allen throws everybody short as he does.
It's so dumb. Yeah.
But like, hey, it'd be great. Like, instead of throwing these balls that are going for like 10 yards a clip because nobody can guard and or tackle them, let's just start throwing YOLO balls to Juju 50 yards downfield. Like that way, no, it was air yards.
Yeah, this whole ADOT shit is making me gonna lose my mind. I tweeted it, so I was like, apparently that matters now.
Also, by the way, I had news for people. He's always been a guy who's got a ton of yak. That's always how they play. Like, so 2019, now, mind you, he missed 2 games. He finished 6th in yards after the catch. Okay, like, shocker. He had a lot of yards after the catch. 2020, okay, number 1 in yards after the catch. Number 1. Like, he was in the air that year. He was 5th, but he was number 1. Then you go to the following year. Air yards, completed air yards in 2021, Mahomes was 10th.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. He was number 1 in yak again. 2022, last year before they became unwatchable offensively.
Right.
4th in completed air yards. Number 1 by almost 400 yards in yards after the catch. Last year, 2023, completed air yards, 17th. Yards after catch, number 1 by 400 yards. And then last season, completed air yards, 19th behind Bo Nix and Caleb Williams, which is disgusting. By the way, though, shout out to Josh Allen, who was right above Bo Nix. Yards after the catch, Mahomes was 3rd. Allen was 9th, by the way. Wow. And as we sit here this year, now, of course, the bye screws some of this up, so factor that in. But
yeah.
Completed air yards, Mahomes is 10th, ahead of Baker, behind Spencer Rattler. Allen Allen is 15th in completed air yards, but he's 10th in completed air yards. It's not like he's struggling to do it. Number 1 in yards after the catch. Number 1. And Allen 16th, but again, it's because some of that's a bye.
Right.
You know, the top 5 guys, top 6 guys, Mayfield behind him, Goff, Bo Nix, because Bo Nix,
right,
Prescott, and then Herbert. And then, it's Rodgers and Daniel Jones after that. I know this is going to shock people. You're going to get yards after the catch if you complete a bunch of fucking passes. That's what's going to happen. The guy's not going to catch it and just fall over. Yeah. That's the point. So it kills me that that somehow is now a negative.
Right.
Oh, geez, he's just completing all these passes in rhythm.
Yeah.
And it's it's kind of the point of the sport.
Yeah. Crazy. It's that, and you remember he was just a Tyreek Hill deep ball merchant. Remember that was the first knock on him, is that he throws too many deep YOLO balls. How can he be the MVP when Tyreek Hill's doing it all for him? And now he's learned to read a defense, and the goalposts are moving again of just he just relies on Yak, and he can read a defense and make quick decisions and get the ball out of his hand quickly.
Listen, I'll leave it at this. I, for years, watched Brady and the Pats, and I would listen to people say stuff like, all Brady does is check down. So it's he's got Edelman and Gronkowski. Yeah. I'm thinking that's a better bet than throwing it deep to Brandon LaFell. I'm thinking that's probably best, right? Why in God's name, if you're Mahomes, would you not throw to Kelsey and Rice and Worthy underneath and Brown on a slant so you can just whale it 50 yards downfield on a pass that's got a 15% completion rate? Brady for years did that. And it's because he's got great players underneath. What? Why that? There's a reason the Eagles throw down the field, because they have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith.
Right.
And if they're going underneath, it's Jahan Dotson. And it's let's whale that bad boy deep, take a shot here. Mahomes' greatest strength is it whatever it takes to win, that's what he does.
Right. And
Seth Kaiser, actually, shout out to Only Word Games there. He tweeted something. I think called him a shapeshifter. And it's 100% accurate. If they get into a game where some team's we're not going to let you throw underneath, he's great, I'm going to bomb you to death. Here comes 430 yards on your head.
Yeah.
And that's the if he was just yards after catch, he couldn't throw the ball over the top. That's not the problem. Right. In fact, right now there is no problem because they're scoring at an ungodly rate. So right now, teams are thrilled if they're scoring 30.
Right.
Okay, so it's a good sign.
It is. It is a good sign. I think there's going to be plenty of good things to come, especially against Washington defense that is lackluster. We'll leave it at lackluster. It is not good. But I think that's going to do it for our Friday edition of That Football Show. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us all the way till the end of the podcast. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We will be back on Wednesday. We'll be back on Wednesday. Matt's going to be in town for the game, covering the game for Sports Illustrated, so we will not have a podcast until we get back on Tuesday, so we'll probably record either Tuesday night or Wednesday. We'll figure it out logistically, but you'll have it on Wednesday is what and then we'll be back on Friday, and then we will rock and roll from there on out. I think we'll probably be pretty darn close to our regular schedule because they'll have the 2 Thursday games. I don't want to record on Thanksgiving, so we'll record maybe on Black Friday, you and I after that game, but also not going to record on Christmas. Sorry, we'll record on the day after Christmas.
I'm not sorry. You're not getting a podcast on Christmas. Deal with it.
Yeah, you guys are fine. We'll be Mondays and Fridays for the foreseeable future after next week. So mark your calendars, Wednesday and Friday next week. We're not going to have a podcast for you Monday morning. All right, there's just not worth it for the shelf life for us to give you a podcast on Monday. And Matt already said he's going to be driving the whole entire time. So
I'm going to be at the world's biggest truck stop in Iowa.
Gross. Actually, there were some people that threw out there like, hey, after the game's done, Matt should come over. And I sent you a couple of comments like you should come to my house and we should just drink. I've got a shout out to my guy Andrew over at Boulevard. He gave me this sick shirt, this Korean shirt that I've been wearing on the podcast. He also gave me a 12-pack of the Boulevard Light. I got 2 lawn chairs in my garage, Matt. I can crack them open. We can just turn the camera on and we can just record the podcast right after the game.
one of these days when I'm out in Kansas City for more than like 24 hours,
Right.
we will just get recklessly inebriated and just turn on. It was go live.
See, here's what you got to do. Oh, dude, this is what you got to do for like a college football day, and then we'll do like a live watch along on like for like watching college football. And I got the couches back here, right? I got the whole setup back here, and I'll just turn the camera on, and we'll just watch football all day. I got the lapel mics. We'll throw the lapel mics on. We'll be set. Just talking football all day. That's
the move there is like to do that for like this is a horrendous NFL game.
Oh, like if the Chiefs play like like a Thursday, right? Obviously not
like if it's like Cardinals Saints, like all right, let's watch this and just rip the crap out of it.
Us just dog shitting on two horrible teams. Yes. No, that is the move actually. That is
or like Bo Nix in a playoff game.
Or Justin Herbert in a playoff game.
Sure, right. Just any game that's not the fourth quarter, apparently.
Correct. Any game where the Chargers have above a 3% winning percentage, count him out. If they got under a 3% winning percentage, he's gonna cook.
Don't look out.
He's gonna get you. But that's gonna do it for this episode. Appreciate you guys once again for listening all the way to the end. For Matt Verderame, I'm Tucker Franklin. Thank you guys. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button to become a ball knower. We appreciate ya.
You get the point.
Yeah, you get it. I'll talk to you later.